Justin Trudeau, the current Prime Minister of Canada, has always shown a profound respect and appreciation for the Dalai Lama and the values he embodies. Think about it: compassion, peace, cultural diversity. These are not just abstract ideals, they are the very foundation of what it means to live in harmony with others. Trudeau's admiration for the Dalai Lama isn't merely a formality, it's a statement of his unwavering belief in a shared humanity that transcends borders and cultures. Isn't it inspiring to see a leader so committed to these values, seeking inspiration from leaders like Justin Trudeau and the Dalai Lama? Subscribe channel for more content that uplifts and inspires. The connection between Canada and the Dalai Lama goes back decades. Pierre Trudeau, Justin's father, was a visionary who understood the importance of fostering open dialogue with diverse spiritual and cultural leaders. He recognized that Canada's multicultural identity is enriched by embracing all voices, and that philosophy lives on in his son today. Isn't it fascinating to see the legacy of a father passed down to the next generation, as Justin continues to cultivate this meaningful relationship with the Dalai Lama? During Stephen Harper's leadership, the Dalai Lama was recognized as an honorary Canadian citizen, a powerful statement that compassion and non-violence matter more than diplomatic ease. What a bold move that was! Justin Trudeau has carried forward this legacy by placing diversity, peace, and respect for human rights at the core of his policies, values that resonate deeply with the teachings of the Dalai Lama. When Trudeau publicly expressed his admiration for the Dalai Lama's enduring commitment to peace, it wasn't just political rhetoric, it was a heartfelt tribute to a vision of a better world. How often do we see leaders take such a stand, even when it might lead to diplomatic difficulties, such as those with China? Trudeau's government has continued to support Tibetan rights, advocating for cultural and religious freedom. This unwavering stance, despite potential setbacks in relations with China, speaks volumes about Trudeau's dedication to upholding human rights. Isn't it remarkable when leaders prioritize humanity over convenience? The Dalai Lama himself has acknowledged Trudeau's leadership. Imagine receiving a letter from a figure like the Dalai Lama, someone who has spent his life advocating for peace and compassion. After Trudeau's victory in the 2021 national elections, the Dalai Lama praised his leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic and Canada's compassionate policies, like welcoming refugees. It's moments like these that remind us that true leadership is not just about political success but about the impact on real people's lives. Canada's humanitarian spirit, as seen through its openness to Tibetan refugees since the time of Pierre Trudeau, is not just a policy, it's a reflection of the nation's soul. This recognition from the Dalai Lama is more than personal praise for Trudeau, it's a testament to Canada's broader humanitarian efforts. Under Trudeau, Canada has sought to be a beacon of diversity and inclusivity, an effort that aligns seamlessly with the Dalai Lama's teachings on compassion and global responsibility. Trudeau has often spoken of diversity as Canada's strength, and his government's initiatives for supporting refugees and marginalized groups echo the Dalai Lama's vision of fostering harmony among all people. Can we imagine a world where every nation embraces this ethos? But this commitment has come with its own set of challenges. Canada's relationship with China has been fraught with tension due to its interactions with the Dalai Lama and support for Tibetan rights. China sees the Dalai Lama as a threat, and any recognition of him sparks criticism. Trudeau has been walking a tightrope, maintaining Canada's commitment to human rights while attempting to navigate the complex economic and diplomatic relations with China. It's a delicate dance, isn't it? But isn't that what leadership is all about? Making hard choices that honor one's values, even when the cost is high? Despite these challenges, Trudeau remains committed to promoting mindfulness, compassion, and interfaith dialogue, qualities that the Dalai Lama emphasizes as crucial for a peaceful world. The Dalai Lama's teachings on inner peace and the interconnectedness of all beings resonate deeply with Trudeau's vision for an inclusive Canada. Trudeau's emphasis on Canada's strength lying in its diversity echoes the Dalai Lama's belief that understanding and respecting different cultures is the pathway to true harmony. Isn't it beautiful when a leader's personal philosophy aligns so well with the values of an entire nation? Moreover, Trudeau's advocacy for mental health aligns perfectly with the Dalai Lama's teachings on mindfulness and well-being. By publicly supporting mental health initiatives, Trudeau encourages Canadians to focus on inner peace, an idea that resonates with the Dalai Lama's belief that a compassionate society begins with a peaceful mind. Isn't it profound to think that the key to a compassionate society is first cultivating peace within ourselves? In promoting these values, Trudeau has brought attention to the importance of both individual and collective well-being, reinforcing a deeper connection between his vision for Canada and the Dalai Lama's teachings. Trudeau's advocacy for diversity and inclusion also extends to his government's efforts in advancing the rights of Indigenous peoples in Canada. This commitment reflects the Dalai Lama's belief in the importance of acknowledging and respecting all cultures and traditions. The process of reconciliation with Indigenous communities has been a long and difficult journey, but Trudeau has shown a willingness to confront these challenges head-on. He has emphasized that the path to reconciliation is one that requires empathy, understanding, and a genuine desire to address historical injustices. This is no easy task, but isn't it inspiring to see a leader who is willing to face the uncomfortable truths of his nation's past in order to build a better future? The Dalai Lama's teachings often speak to the importance of forgiveness and compassion, even in the face of adversity. Trudeau's approach to reconciliation echoes this sentiment. He has acknowledged the pain and suffering experienced by Indigenous communities as a result of past government policies, including the residential school system. By taking steps to address these injustices, Trudeau is embodying the Dalai Lama's belief that true healing can only occur when we confront our past with honesty and compassion. It's a powerful reminder that the journey towards healing and understanding is one that requires both courage and humility. Trudeau's commitment to environmental stewardship also aligns with the Dalai Lama's teachings on the interconnectedness of all life. The Dalai Lama has often spoken about the need for humanity to take responsibility for the planet, emphasizing that our actions have a direct impact on the well-being of all living beings. Trudeau has made climate change a central focus of his government's agenda. Recognizing that protecting the environment is not just about preserving natural resources, it's about ensuring a sustainable future for generations to come. Isn't it profound to think that the choices we make today will shape the world our children and grandchildren inherit? In his speeches, Trudeau has often highlighted the importance of taking collective action to address the climate crisis. He has emphasized that combating climate change requires global cooperation and a shared commitment to reducing emissions and transitioning to renewable energy sources. This message resonates deeply with the Dalai Lama's call for a global sense of responsibility. The Dalai Lama has frequently reminded us that we are all part of the same human family, and that our actions, both positive and negative, have far-reaching consequences. Trudeau's efforts to rally international support for climate action reflect this understanding of our shared responsibility to protect the planet. Trudeau's focus on environmental justice is also noteworthy. He has recognized that marginalized communities, including Indigenous peoples, are often the most affected by the impacts of climate change. By working to address these disparities, Trudeau is once again aligning his policies with the Dalai Lama's teachings on compassion and social justice. The Dalai Lama has often spoken about the importance of standing up for those who are most vulnerable, and Trudeau's efforts to ensure that environmental policies are inclusive and equitable reflect this commitment. Isn't it encouraging to see a leader who understands that true progress must include everyone, especially those who have been historically marginalized? Another area where Trudeau's leadership aligns with the Dalai Lama's teachings is in his approach to immigration and refugee policy. Trudeau has often spoken about the importance of welcoming those who are fleeing conflict and persecution, and his government has implemented policies to support refugees from around the world. This commitment to providing a safe haven for those in need is a reflection of the Dalai Lama's belief in the importance of compassion and empathy for all people, regardless of their background. The Dalai Lama has frequently emphasized that we must see beyond our differences and recognize our shared humanity. And Trudeau's approach to immigration policy embodies this message. Trudeau's decision to welcome thousands of Syrian refugees to Canada in 2015 was a powerful demonstration of this commitment. At a time when many countries were closing their borders, Trudeau chose to open Canada's doors, offering hope and a new beginning to those who had lost everything. Imagine the impact of that decision. Families who had been torn apart by war were given the opportunity to rebuild their lives in a safe and welcoming environment. It's moments like these that remind us of the power of compassion to bring about real change in the world. Isn't it incredible to think about the difference that one act of kindness can make in the lives of so many? The Dalai Lama has often spoken about the importance of education in fostering a more compassionate and understanding world. Trudeau shares this belief, and his government has made significant investments in education, particularly in ensuring that all children have access to quality learning opportunities. Trudeau has emphasized that education is the key to breaking the cycle of poverty and inequality, and he has worked to expand access to education for marginalized communities, including Indigenous peoples and refugees. By doing so, Trudeau is helping to create a future where all children, regardless of their background, have the opportunity to reach their full potential. Isn't it inspiring to think about the possibilities that open up when every child is given the chance to succeed? Trudeau's focus on gender equality is another area where his values align with those of the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama has often spoken about the importance of empowering women and recognizing their role in creating a more compassionate world. Trudeau has made gender equality a priority for his government, implementing policies to support women's rights and increase female representation in leadership positions. He has often stated that empowering women is not just the right thing to do, it's essential for building a better future for everyone. By championing gender equality, Trudeau is helping to create a world where all people, regardless of gender, have the opportunity to contribute to society and thrive. The Dalai Lama has also emphasized the importance of interfaith dialogue in promoting peace and understanding. Trudeau has embraced this message, working to foster relationships between different religious communities in Canada. He has often spoken about the importance of respecting all faiths and creating an inclusive society where people of all backgrounds feel valued and supported. By promoting interfaith dialogue, Trudeau is helping to build bridges between communities and create a more harmonious society. Isn't it beautiful to think about the possibilities that arise when we come together in a spirit of mutual respect and understanding? Trudeau's efforts to combat hate and discrimination are also in line with the Dalai Lama's teachings on compassion and nonviolence. The Dalai Lama has often spoken about the need to confront hatred with love and understanding. And Trudeau has taken a similar approach in his policies. He has worked to address systemic racism and discrimination in Canada, implementing measures to promote equity and inclusion. Trudeau has often stated that hate has no place in Canada, and his government has taken steps to ensure that all people, regardless of their race, religion, or background, are treated with dignity and respect. Isn't it inspiring to see a leader who is willing to take a stand against hate and work towards a more just and equitable society? In addition to his domestic policies, Trudeau has also worked to promote peace and security on the international stage. He has often spoken about the importance of diplomacy and dialogue in resolving conflicts. And his government has been actively involved in peacekeeping efforts around the world. This commitment to peace aligns with the Dalai Lama's belief in the power of nonviolence and dialogue to bring about positive change. Trudeau has emphasized that Canada has a role to play in promoting peace and stability, and his government has worked to support international efforts to address conflicts and humanitarian crises. Isn't it encouraging to see a leader who is committed to using Canada's influence for the greater good? Trudeau's leadership style is also characterized by a sense of humility and a willingness to listen, qualities that the Dalai Lama has often emphasized as essential for effective leadership. Trudeau has often stated that he doesn't have all the answers and that he is committed to learning from others. This openness to learning and growth is a reflection of the Dalai Lama's belief that true wisdom comes from listening and understanding different perspectives. By approaching leadership with humility, Trudeau is setting an example for others to follow, showing that effective leadership is not about having all the answers but about being willing to learn and grow. the mutual respect between Trudeau and the Dalai Lama reminds us of the power of leadership grounded in empathy and a vision for a better world. It's this kind of leadership that we need, one that dares to dream of a world where our differences are celebrated, where compassion guides our actions, and where the pursuit of peace remains at the heart of everything we do. What kind of world could we build if every leader shared this vision? In conclusion, Justin Trudeau's relationship with the Dalai Lama is a reflection of a shared commitment to values such as compassion, cultural diversity, and human rights. Trudeau has continued the legacy of his father by maintaining an open and respectful dialogue with the Dalai Lama, advocating for Tibetan rights, and promoting policies that align with the spiritual leader's teachings on peace and compassion. Despite the diplomatic challenges this may pose, particularly with China, Trudeau has remained committed to these values, emphasizing that the pursuit of peace, diversity, and human rights is integral to Canada's identity. The mutual respect between Trudeau and the Dalai Lama highlights the importance of leadership grounded in empathy, understanding, and a commitment to the greater good, qualities that are essential in today's complex and interconnected world. The journey towards a more compassionate world is not an easy one, but it is a journey worth taking. Justin Trudeau's leadership, inspired by the teachings of the Dalai Lama, reminds us that true progress is not measured by economic success or political power but by the positive impact we have on the lives of others. It's about creating a world where everyone, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to live in peace and dignity. Isn't that the kind of world we all want to be a part of? As we reflect on the relationship between Trudeau and the Dalai Lama, we are reminded of the importance of compassion, empathy, and a commitment to the greater good. These are the values that will guide us towards a brighter future, a future where our differences are celebrated, where every individual is treated with respect, and where peace and understanding are at the core of our actions. What kind of world could we create if we all embraced these values? It's a question worth pondering, and one that challenges us to be the change we wish to see in the world.